welcome to today's behind the scenes video. So this is a very spontaneous video. Grab yourself a coffee, a tea, whatever you like. But stay with me until the end because I have something special that I want to share with you. But first, today I will share my journey, and as you can see here, it has been a very long journey. So it's a 8-year transformation. Not all of the time have I been successful in this journey, so I definitely had a couple of years where I was very confused on like what to do. And although I was training and although I was quote unquote eating healthy and clean, I wasn't able to create the results that I was after. And so the takeaway for you today is really to understand better how true body transformation is achieved. Like, what are the things that are needed to really change your body for life? Because we don't only want to get slimmer. It's not only about losing body fat. It's really about creating a completely different shape in your body. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying you want to create the toned and strong body for life. It's really long lasting body transformation, changing the shape of your body. And here you can see two snapshots of my journey. So 2018 versus 2022. On the right side, I got ready for my second photo shoot. So I was very, very lean. And on the left side, I was already training regularly. I was also already lifting weights, attending group fitness classes, stuff like that. And I was also putting the effort into my nutrition to eat more clean, more healthy, more sugar-free, more gluten-free, all of that stuff, but my body was just not changing. And the reason I started on this journey is for the first reason was definitely I wanted to change how I look because I felt very, very uncomfortable in my skin. I hated how my legs looked. I always felt they were like too big and thick, especially in comparison with my girlfriends in my teenage years. So it started pretty early I think it was when I was like 14, 15 years old. And so from there on, I would never wear shorts or skirts or dresses. I had always these one pair of black jeans, very stretchy, that I would rebuy again and again. Always the same model because I knew like I will be able to fit in. And yeah, there were like a lot of also moments in my life that I skipped because I didn't feel good in my body. So not going out with friends to the beach, like to the sea, stuff like that, or sport activities. I never felt like I'm the sporty chick. I didn't feel home in my body, and I also didn't feel that my body was capable of being active and fit. And so I had this like turning point, my I'm done moment, where I felt like, hey, I want to change that. It was after a breakup, where I had the feeling like I put so much effort into someone else, that I totally ignored myself and my own needs. And so this was the turning point where I was like, okay, after this breakup, I will now focus on myself. I will do things for myself, for my body. And I also had this like a ton of health issues. I will get into that into a second. But I just wanted to show you like true body transformation is really about creating a different shape in your body. It's not only losing weight. And so to achieve that, maybe you have heard that already inside our first module of the Look Like You Lived course, you need to go through multiple transformation cycles. And that really depends, like how often you need to go through these cycles really, really depends on what you want to achieve. But after like completing the first cycle, this is the moment where you will see the first like big results and big changes in your body composition. And after that, you will decide, hey, do I want to do another cycle, or am I like happy and I just want to maintain what I have created? What I see with my one-on-one clients is that they on average go through 2 cycles. For me, it's now my 3rd cycle, and I will show you exactly how that looked like. How did my body transform going from one cycle to the next? Like, what were like the big changes or also the big challenges, and how did my body weight also change going through those cycles? So first off, I had a really, really long phase. You can see here it was like 2 years that was like confusion. So I had this I'm done moment where I was like, I'm done. I want to do something for myself, for my body. I want to feel good in my body. I want to be able to wear blue jeans and a white shirt and sneakers and like just feel good walking down the street. I want to feel good wearing a bikini. And I also want to understand my body better because I had a ton of health issues at that time. So that was really my first I'm done moment. I want to change something. But that was also the time where I was very confused and very overwhelmed because everything that I saw out there was leading me into different directions. So the one people said, hey, I need to eat carbs. The other said I need to do low carb. Then I should not eat meat according to my blood type. Then I should do fasting. Then I should do HIIT training. Then I should maybe focus more on strength training. And so I did a lot of things back then, but they were not leading to any great changes in my body composition. So I was able to lose a little bit of weight, but as soon as I was done with a diet, like a fat diet, I was gaining everything back and more. And I also had a really bad relationship to food at that time because so many things were like forbidden, or I had to restrict myself more and more and more, which really wasn't the solution to create long-lasting body transformation. And this is why we're also talking always about, hey, you don't have to give up your favorite food, or you don't have to be more and more disciplined or have more and more willpower or more restriction. Like if you are very disciplined, but you're doing the wrong things, it will not lead you anywhere. And that's why we need to make sure that what you're actually doing for your body transformation is leading you in the right direction long term. So 2016 to 2018, massive confusion. I finished my degree in international business administration. I was like full on party mode, party chick. I was drinking a lot and smoking a lot. And so my lifestyle definitely led to some serious health issues. I had hormonal imbalances. I was diagnosed with PCOS. I had really terrible stress management, binge eating episodes, horrendous digestion. IBS was my best friend back then, bloating, and also a ton of food intolerances. I felt like I couldn't eat anything without having any digestive issues. And on top of that, I lost also my period for 4 years. So this is where I really started to be more and more interested into health, especially women's health, and then also started to quit my previous job. And I went on like, hey, I want to do this coaching thing full time. So I got certified women's health and got certified as women's health and fitness coach. And yeah, I wasn't satisfied with how women are treated from like doctors. Like, back then I was really like upset about it. Thinking back now, I'm like, yeah, if you're going to the doctor, they will most likely prescribe you meds. This is just like what they're doing. So you really just have 2 choices. It's like either you're going to the doctor or you're getting your meds, because maybe there is something that needs medication. That can absolutely be the case. Always like double check things. But for me personally, I knew that I could do so much on my lifestyle side when it comes to like training, nutrition, recovery, stress management, that I knew, hey, this will probably set me up or make my body definitely healthier, put me into a better place, and I will go that route. And I decided myself against taking the contraceptive pill to help me with my PCOS. And I was like, okay, I will try to change my lifestyle and really become a healthier and fitter version of myself, and see if this will help me. Thankfully, I met Yannick back then. He was my first nutrition coach, and this was my second I'm done moment, where I was like, hey, all this stuff is like not working, although I'm putting so much effort into it. So I'm reaching out to a coach, and I want to get professional help from someone who knows what he's doing. And so he was my first nutrition coach. He's now my husband, and he's also the other half of Women's Strength Society. I'm sure you have met him already. And yeah, he like really never gave up on searching for a solution and pointing me into the right direction, and also connecting me with some other amazing coaches and educators that really, really helped me to develop a deeper understanding of nutrition, movement, recovery, and the female body. And so on the left side, you can really see the girl that tried all of the things for nutrition: keto, low carb, vegan or plant-based diet, blood type diet, meal replacement shakes, clean eating, metabolic balance. I also tried to like freeze the fat cells on my inner thighs. It hasn't worked at all. And on the training side, I did athletic training, running, group fitness classes. I also bought training programs, but the progressive overload was like not built into those programs. That's why I was training. I was strength training also at that time with those programs, but every training program was like so different in the exercises, the rep ranges, that I wasn't able to pick the right load to really apply progressive overload. And this is something that I also see, and this is something that I saw 2 days ago with one of our premium membership clients. So she is training since her teens, so a very, very long time. I think she's now in her 40s or in 30s. I think it's 40s. And she said that now that she's following a structured training program, she actually sees how much stronger she is. And so she was able to increase her weights by like 5 times what she would normally use, which shows us that she wasn't applying progressive overload. She was training for years and years and years on end, but the body was not getting any stimulus from that. And so that is a very ineffective training. You're training a lot, you're doing a lot of workouts, but it's leading you nowhere. And so the big change really, really happened when I was matching my training and nutrition, and when I, for the first time ever, committed myself to my first transformation cycle, when I said like, okay, now we are doing things the right way. We are matching my training and nutrition, and we are making sure that my training will lead me towards my strong and toned dream body that I was after. And also that my nutrition, like my calorie intake and food quality and so forth and so on, is also matching the goal that I'm currently after. Because if you're only like eating clean and healthy, it means nothing if the energy balance is not respected at all. And so here you can see what happened over the last 4 years, where I went very, very intentionally through the different phases of true body transformation. So I did my first ever cutting phase, or longer cutting phase to prepare for a photo shoot in 2020. Then I did a building phase, which was 15 months long. Then I did another cut. This was actually like the leanest I ever got, again for a photo shoot, because this is not a body that you can sustain, that you can see here in the middle. I was just too lean and the calories were too low. Then again, a building phase where I put on good muscle mass, also again 15 months. And then currently I'm still in my cutting phase. This is how my body looks now as of today. And so now we are going through these different stages to give you a better understanding of what happened in this phase, because you need to understand that. Let me put this here, myself up here or down here better. Because you need to understand that every fat loss phase you will go through will create different results, and always like better results. The same goes for your building phases. So as you are progressing through these different transformation cycles, you will get better and better and better results, because if you're entering your first fat loss phase, there are a couple of things that you will learn in this fat loss phase when it comes to meal timing or preparation, or how it actually feels like to be in a cutting phase and experiencing hunger. Really like what it takes to go through a successful fat loss phase. The same goes then for a reverse diet phase and your building phase. And so the second time you go through the same transformation phase, like for example, you're going through the second fat loss phase, you will get better results because you're already prepared. You have the experience, like the knowledge that you've gained from your like first fat loss phase, and you can apply that in your second fat loss phase. And so you will get better and better and better results going through these different body transformation cycles. So that's why don't think like when you're going through a fat loss phase, your first successful fat loss phase, and I mean successful like losing the weight and keeping it off, like no yo-yo dieting, that's a successful fat loss phase. Don't think that you will achieve that. How do I put that? Your dream physique going through your first fat loss phase. You will probably achieve the best physique ever because you're like leaned out and you have less body fat, lower body fat percentage. But don't put so much pressure on yourself that you need to look crazy in shape. It's okay if the weight loss, like the fat loss, isn't maybe that huge, but you lost the weight in a way that it's sustainable, so that you're not going back into this like yo-yo weight gain cycle. That's a successful fat loss phase, and that's more important, and like getting the experiences out of this phase than how much you have actually lost. Because the first time, and I see this with also all of my one-on-one clients, the first fat loss phase is really here to see like how your body is reacting, what do you actually need. Every woman is different. So the first one is really gaining experience, and then the second fat loss phase will probably give you even like better results, because we already know what we are working with. And so in my first fat loss phase, I was able to lose 6 kilo in 3 months. That was in 2019. That's where I invested the first time, like really a bigger chunk of money into coaching. And I remember that I borrowed it from Yannick, as I didn't have the financial means. So here you can see also how my body changed. And my body changed for sure, but it's not a crazy change. Although I've lost 6 kilo, it's not like my photo shoot cut where I really, really shredded down to the bones, literally. I lost weight, but it's not like, whoa, crazy physique. and that's okay. I also in that time worked on like improving my body composition. I followed a meal plan and a supplement protocol, and I started to eat animal protein with every meal. And it helped me to look better, to lose some weight, but it also massively improved my women's health. So I was able to like balance out my hormones or have more balanced hormones. And I gained my period back, and I don't have any PCOS since then. So this was my first fat loss phase. And then after that, I don't have pictures because nothing really happened when it came to my weight development. But that was like my toned body foundation phase. That was just like for 5 months maintaining what I have created. I wanted to be able to not like bounce back and gain all the weight back, but I wanted to show myself that I can maintain my new weight. And so for a lot of people, this phase might sound like boring, but it's the opportunity to show yourself that you're able to like stick to your new healthy lifestyle, no matter if you're like in a cutting phase or not, because it's easy to be like hyper focused on losing weight, stepping on the scale, seeing the success, cutting out foods, eating less, moving more, and then losing the weight. But the magic happens really after the dieting phase. Like, can you maintain what you have currently, like what you have created? Can you prove to yourself that you can maintain this new body standard? And so I kept up with my training routine. I paid attention to my sleep and my stress levels. That was super important. And also sticking to the same meal structure that I've learned previously. This is, by the way, what we teach inside our course. Eat to Look Toned is like having this meal structure ready, because once you have the meal structure, it's easy to go into cutting and building phases, because we just need to increase and decrease the amount of food. But if you have this meal structure ready with your favorite foods, but also the ones that keep you full and satisfied and healthy, then we are making sure that no matter if you're in a cutting or building phase or not, that you can maintain what you have created. So that's why if you don't have a meal structure, check out our course, Eat to Look Toned. And then after that, I was like, hey, let's push it. Let's reach another level, because I really got hungry for more once I saw what's actually possible. And so in 2020, I went on my second fat loss phase, where I lost another 5 kilo over 4 months. And so this was my second phase that focused on improving my body composition, and where I learned about flexible dieting. So this is where I tracked my food. Previously, I followed a meal plan that was always adjusted by my coach. But then I learned about flexible dieting and macro tracking, and changed the game for me. I'm still tracking today, 4 years later. So this is also where I started to share my journey on social media. I was very, very scared of the judgment of other people, because I didn't have a like crazy or great physique. I started as a coach back then. We founded Women's Strength Society, and so I started to share my journey, and I committed to my first photo shoot ever. At that time, I worked together with Hati Boydell. If you don't know her, check her out. She is really a beast in the gym. And she helped me to get ready for my like first photo shoot ever in a bikini in the middle of Berlin. I was super, super scared, because when I set that goal, I didn't feel comfortable in my body. And so I definitely committed to something that felt very, very uncomfortable, but it has been the most empowering experience and the most pivotal moment in my entire life, because for the first time I felt home in my body. I had the feeling like I understand how my body works and how I can support my body, how I can actually train, eat, recover, think, to create the best shape and the best version of myself. And so then in 2021, I did a building phase. I will put myself up here so you can see that better. So this is the end of the cutting phase, where I was for the first time a little bit shredded. You can see a little bit my abs on a little bit my legs that leaned out. And then I went into my first building phase, 17 months. Sorry, I said 15 before. And I gained 5 kilo, which wasn't that much. So after the photo shoot, I achieved the leanest look to date. And I realized that I hadn't much muscle mass. Also very important, go through your first like successful cutting phase and you will see how much muscle mass is really there. And believe me when I say you probably don't have super much crazy muscle mass. So after that fat loss phase, I was like, okay, I want to add more muscles to create shape, and also muscles are healthy. It helps us to stay healthy. And so I decided to spend a lot of time building muscles and also getting stronger in my big lift. So really like focusing on performance in the gym and also eating for performance. At that time, my training intensity was definitely not on point. And I also, because it was my first building phase, I also used the building phase a bit too much as an excuse to go overboard with my calories. So Yannick and I always refer back to that building phase that he was also going through as the pizza diet, because we were eating a lot of pizza and ice cream. But I still tracked my calories. But also a lot of things were estimated, because when you're eating pizza, when you're going constantly out for dinner, you need to estimate. You never know how much fat, for example, they're putting on your pizza. And so there was like a lot of underestimated calories that I ate, and I put a bit more body fat on than needed in that time. But again, as I said, going through these different phases will teach you something. And so the next time you are going through a building phase or a cutting phase, you can apply what you have previously learned. And this is really the fun part about this whole body transformation progress. It's really like a little game you're playing with yourself. Like once you have understood the rules of the game, it's quite fun. And so then I did, after this building phase, my third fat loss phase. This was like, hey, I want to do another photo shoot 2 years after the last one. And I lost 8 kilo. So that was the biggest weight loss that I had in a cutting phase. And this is what I say this is what I mean when I say, don't put that much pressure on yourself when you're going through your first cut. It's okay if you're losing only 3, 4, 5 kilo. But take it as a learning experience. And then the next time you're going through a fat loss phase, you can then like achieve the next level and try to push it even harder. And this was my like previous cutting phase that really made me grind and reach a new level. Looking back, it was mentally very exhausting because it was 6 months long, and I never really experienced that level of hunger before. I got very, very shredded. And as I said before, this is not a body that you can sustain. So it's really the best, if you want to get that shredded, to tie it to a special event. I'm always doing a photo shoot at the end of my cut, because you really want to capture that moment. For sure, that's what I like to do. That's why I like to do photo shoots. But then you want to get out of that. You will not be able to maintain that, because at the end of, like at the very, very end of this photo shoot prep, I was eating 1,200 calories, I think. And so this is nothing that I wish anyone is eating on, like, to maintain what they have. We really want to get out of that fat loss phase, reverse dieting, and then building calories back up to maintenance. But nevertheless, I wanted to experience how it is. I've pushed through and I achieved my leanest physique to date, that I celebrated with my second photo shoot. And it was really, really nice to reveal the work of the previous building phase, because then you can always see like how much muscle mass have you really built in the building phase. But again, it made me hungry for more. As I said, once you understand the game, then it's fun to play and take like the next challenge on. And so I went into my second building phase. And again, you can see here the weight development. I put on 11 kilo. It was like at the end, I was my leanest ever. I was 50 kilo. And as I said, not a physique that you can maintain. It's not sustainable. And so I went on to go through my second building phase, 15 months long, and I put on 11 kilo this time. No pizza diet. I mean, I was definitely more flexible with my nutrition than in the cutting phase, 100%. But I still I wanted to get really the best out of this building phase, as I've learned from the previous one what to do and what to do not. And I really, really wanted to nail down my building season. So I worked again with a coach, with Pat Davidson, on really choosing the exercises that allow me to train with a great range of motion and stability, and cut out the fluff. So exercises that were like wobbly, or that were like just not well suited for my building phase. For example, deadlifts, I cut it out. Like deadlifts, I wasn't doing them, or like the big lifts, also like bench presses. I wasn't doing that in my building phase. I wanted to have exercises that allowed me to have really great stability and great range of motion, so that I can train with a high intensity. So training with high intensity and volume was like the theme of this building phase, and sticking to the same exercises until I don't see any progress anymore with that exercise, and then change up. So thinking back, I have probably done almost the same exercises through the entire year of my building phase. And when it comes to nutrition, I definitely was a bit more flexible with my diet, as I said, than in the cutting phase. But it was definitely not a pizza and ice cream party anymore, as I was really, really focusing on choosing the foods that will make me perform and recover my best. So I really had this beast mode on, that I wanted to get the best out of my building phase. And so now I'm currently, as of this recording, I'm currently in my fourth fat loss phase. That was the end of my build with 61 kilo, and I'm planning on dropping down to 53. You can see here on the picture, that was me this week with 54.5. So I still have a little bit to go, but I'm almost at the end. The goal for me is to drop to 53, so that after my reverse diet, I would end up around 55, 56 kilo, because after the reverse diet, you will most likely put on 2 to 3 kilo. That's totally normal, because you have just more food in your system, more food in your belly, and also more glycogen in your muscles. Like when you're then increasing your carbs slowly back up to maintenance, you are eating more carbs, and carbs will be then stored as glycogen in your muscles. If the training intensity is right. And that's why we're also always talking about matching training and nutrition, because we do need to make sure that you are training with the right training intensity, so that the food that comes in at all the time, also in the building phase, but especially after a fat loss phase, when we are bringing calories back up again, that the food that comes in, the more food that comes in, don't sits on your backs, on your hips and around your stomach, but goes like straight into your muscles. That's what we are after, so that you are having a better shape overall, going through these different phases. And then on top of that, I'm also planning my third photo shoot this year. I think it will be probably at the end of my reverse dieting phase, because at the end of a reverse diet, you will look better than at the end of your fat loss phase. At the end of your fat loss phase, you are probably, especially if you are very lean, you will look a bit flat, because your muscles are just empty. And then as calories are coming in again, carbs are coming in again, your muscle is being filled up again. And so the muscle is fuller. It will push more against the skin, and you will have a more juicy look. And so, yeah, as I said, a couple of things. First, if you don't have this like meal structure, like the first meal structure really in place, if you are super confused about what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat to just like maintain your current weight and build this toned body foundation, then check out our Eat to Look Toned course. And second, if you are currently not training progressively, if you're not following a structured strength training program because you have never done it, or because you just don't know what it means to follow a structured training program, maybe you're doing currently other sports, maybe you are into group fitness classes or CrossFit or spinning or running or whatever it is what you're currently doing, but you actually want to achieve this body transformation, long-term body transformation, then definitely make sure, and I will drop it below this video, our toned body training bundle. Our toned body training bundle is really a 12-week strength training program with 3 different phases for the gym, 3 or 4 times you can choose. And it comes also with our training guide, Gains, which are the training fundamentals to build a strong and toned body. Definitely make sure to check that out as well. And if you have any questions, then message me, chat with me. I'm super happy to answer questions. I hope that video helped you to gain maybe a little bit distance and see your body transformation journey from a macro view, not being so hyper focused on the like day to day, which is also important, that we are doing the right things that like move the needle forward. But sometimes it makes sense to like zoom out, to be a little bit like less under pressure when it comes to your body transformation. I mean, you're living in your body for the rest of your life. You probably, if you want to stay healthy, will train for the rest of your life, and probably also eat for the rest of your life to stay alive. So see this as a little like game, as I said. Once you understand like the rules of body transformation and how to play the game, it's really fun, and I'm here to support you on your way. If you want to fast track your results and you really want to work with us closely on your body transformation, then make sure to join us inside our Strong Babes Club Premium membership. And yeah, talk to you soon. Bye bye.